Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another Autism Digest interview, where today we have an interviewee I'm really excited to talk to. I grew up on the game Minecraft, as many people neurodivergent not did. And one thing that I always wished there was a server exclusively for autistic individuals. This individual developed Autcraft, a server with over 20,000 people at the time of this recording, for autistic individuals and their families to enjoy the game without the fear of bullying or trolling. He is Stuart Duncan, aka the Autism Father. Thanks for coming on, Stuart.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's quite the
Uh,
intro. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. My first question for you is, for those that may not know you, do you mind telling a bit of your story in your own words and what inspired you to develop Autcraft?
Yeah, absolutely. So in 2010, which is eons ago now, I started a blog. I started writing about autism. My son was diagnosed shortly before that. And then while I was blogging, I was diagnosed. So yeah, I just started learning all kinds of things, particularly through, just now that I knew we were autistic, I knew what to look for and what was the reason behind things. But I wrote as a father instead of a mother. Back then, when blogs were really, really huge, it was all moms writing, not dads. So I got a bit of a readership. Meanwhile, me and my kids were loving Minecraft. Like you said, lots of people love Minecraft. So we were just playing the game and having fun. And I was blogging, and I ended up hearing from all these parents who love my writing that they were looking for other parents of autistic children and hoping that their kids could play together. And so when I started reaching out and asking why they were asking that specifically, they said that their kids were on the public servers and they were being bullied and trolled and harassed and basically made the game unplayable for them once they realized that, like, it's not necessarily that they knew that they were autistic, but when you're autistic, you talk a little different, you behave a little different, you don't get some of the jokes, some of the whatever, and you tend to get more emotional when you're treated unfairly or when things aren't fair or um people are cheating or doing things wrong. And so when you get upset, bullies will target you. So anyway, I heard from more and more and more parents that their kids were encountering bullies, and so I decided it's time that we had our own place, and I started the server in 2013, and the rest, they say, is history.
Amen to that, and I can definitely relate to getting emotional when things are unfair. A bit of a story for you, as a lot of individuals might have had. My experience in high school wasn't exactly the best. I've had really good relationships with my teachers who adored me, and I was a wonderful student, but it was basically like what you would see in the movies. There was one person specifically who would really try to poke the bear, as they say, and I would react very strongly about it. To be fair, I got myself into those situations at times because I was a bit of a snitch in high school, but that was because I took the rules extremely seriously, same as most neurodivergent individuals might, specifically the no phone rule, which wasn't strictly enforced in my class. So I can definitely relate to that, and I definitely respect the mission of having your own space to play the game without the fear of bullying. Speaking of Minecraft, my next question for you is, what is it about Minecraft specifically that resonates so strongly with many autistic players compared to other games?
I think being autistic, being in the autism community, you've probably heard the expression, your child isn't ignoring you, they're simply waiting for you to join them in their world. I can think of no more literal translation for that than Minecraft, because these kids are literally creating their own world. In Minecraft, you have everything exactly how you want it to be. If you don't like a window in a wall where it is, you can move it. If you want your animals to be named whatever you want them to be named and not what your parents name them, you can do that. So you're literally creating your, they call it a sandbox game. You're literally in your sandbox playing, and you're making everything exactly how you want it to be. But in that regard, there's no linear progression. There's no leveling up. There's no beating this boss to get to the next boss. There's no unlocking quests to get further in the game and stuff. Like somebody can drop in on my server in the next 10 minutes and they're basically equal to every other person on the server. They might not be able to craft the same armor and stuff, but somebody can just give it to them, or in an hour they can go mining and they'll have it. So everybody's equal. But I think probably the biggest, best reason, I guess this would be reason number three. The biggest, best reason would be that it's predictable, it's safe. So it's code, right? It's a video game. So everything is predictable and reliable and expected. The days are 10 minutes long, the nights are 10 minutes long. When you place water on the ground, it travels in 8 blocks in each direction. Animals will always follow a certain kind of food and not other kinds of food. There's laws, there's physics, there's stuff that is the same today that it was yesterday. And in the real world, that's just not the case. Autistic people generally do very well with routines, with schedules, with things being the same time after time. And when things get thrown out of whack or the unexpected happens, it could be really traumatic. It's not just inconvenience; it's torture for many people. So like even in the regards of Minecraft, a lot of servers will reset from time to time. They will wipe everything out and start fresh and new. Autcraft doesn't do that because we're a server of autistic people, and people have been working very hard on things, and they expect things to be there tomorrow that were there yesterday. So yeah, so Minecraft, I think those three things are the biggest things: is that you can build your world the way you want it to be, and yeah, it's very predictable. It's very safe. That was, I think, a big part of the problem was that not just because there's bullies and trolls out there and everything, but because those bullies and trolls and those people made everything unsafe. It made it unpredictable. It made it wild, and you just didn't know what to expect. You're going to sign on. What are they going to do to you today? Kind of thing. So yeah, Minecraft is very flexible in that it's an open world. You can do whatever you want, but it's very structured in that everything is going to work the same tomorrow that it did yesterday.
Exactly. I definitely loved that point you brought up about things being same. One could argue that Roblox might be a bit similar, as things are the same in certain games, but that just applies to certain games of that game. With Minecraft specifically, you're absolutely right. Things are there exactly how you left it, whether it's your own world or a server such as yours, which transitions beautifully into my next question for you. How does Minecraft act as a bridge for social interaction for players who may struggle with traditional social environments?
I think, especially in the case of autistic people, it strips away the rest of the world. Like I think about taking my son into therapy when he was younger, or even a pediatrician going to see the doctor, stuff like that. Um, Most people take it for granted, but you're going into a strange space. You're going into somebody else's house, house. Um, but like the lights flicker and are weird. There's weird smells. There's stuff all over the wall. There's noises coming from all over the place. The floors are uneven. There's just so much going on that the typical person probably wouldn't care or even notice, but autistic people do. And it can be very unnerving, and it can be very um distracting, much worse than distracting, but I think distracting is a good word to describe it. It's really hard to have a good therapy session and learn things and better yourself when your mind is completely totally out of control because everything around you makes no sense. And it just gets 100 times worse when there's bullies involved, like at school. um but in Minecraft, you're in your house, you're in your favorite chair, you're surrounded by your dog or your cat and your brother and sister and your family and all your favorite toys and your belongings, and everything is familiar, and you can get up and get yourself a drink from the fridge whenever you want. It takes away a lot of the chaos. It takes away a lot of the outside stimuli. It dilutes, not dilutes, the opposite of dilutes. I don't know, whatever that is. But it really gets rid of all the extra stuff and helps you to focus on what you're saying and what they're saying. because you don't have to look anybody in the eye. You don't have to wonder what it means when they lean against the wall or they shuffle their feet, or you don't have to think about where do you put your hands, in your pocket or at your side. Do you cross your arms? You don't have to worry about what does the look on your face mean or their face. What does that mean? All of this stuff fades away, and so you can get to the heart of the conversation and actually talk to somebody and get to know them and practice being a friend, having a friend, leading a team, doing all these things before you have to be in the real world with real faces looking back at you who are all making faces and smiling weird and smelling funny and all that stuff, right? So it really narrows the focus down and helps you to perfect this one thing so that when you have to transition back to going to school tomorrow, you have that to fall back on and you remember what it was like and what you did and what worked and what didn't. So it helps a lot.
I absolutely agree with that. And I just had with Minecraft, there's structure. You don't have to worry about the societal norms that people expect of you. You just build a house, maybe tame a few mobs, and you're good. Good. So
Or not just the societal norms, but the societal not norms. Like on my server, you can't swear. Like I've disabled that. And if you try to get around it, me or my team will tell you that it's not okay. Um, we, a lot of people bring up, you got 20,000 people on there. Some of them can't be great. What happens when they bully each other? Well, we're there. We monitor the server. We make sure that doesn't happen. Um, but like in terms of societal norms, that's the problem is there are none. Anybody can say anything. Anybody can be as mean as they want to be. And that's the unpredictability. Like when you go to school, you don't know who's going to do what. You don't know if you're going to have your head stuck in a toilet tomorrow when you go to school, right? You just don't know. But on a server that is well monitored, well maintained by people who care and understand, I'm autistic, right? So I know. And yeah, you end up with like actual legit societal norms, like expectations. You know that tomorrow when you sign on to this place that is well regulated and maintained and watched, that you're not in danger. There's not going to be somebody who's going to do something that's going to hurt you. So I think that really helps a lot. You literally start your day, you get out of bed with a totally different attitude than if you were going to be going off to a wild west place where anything can happen and usually is bad.
I absolutely agree, and I respect that you don't allow expletives or people trying to scoot around rules, which is the main problem in society. I
Mm-hmm.
struggle with it. This too, trying to find my ways around rules that work, but I'm quick to take the rules seriously and respect them. And I think what you just said is a powerful way to end this interview. Anyways, that's going to do for this interview, guys. Thanks so much to Stuart for coming on and sharing his perspectives. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Check out our latest issue that just came out by going to autismdigest.com. And stay tuned for the audio file of this interview to be posted on our Spotify. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.